Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dr. Sia channel. In the video here today, we're going to be talking about the family structure of a person with a disorganized attachment. Let's get started. All right, so what does the family look like of a person who's developed a disorganized attachment? Of course, this is a huge topic and we could talk a lot about it, but here's a snippet. By and large, the family structure of a person who has a disorganized attachment is a harmful one. Now, of course, the avoidant attachment and the ambivalent attachment are also harmful. So the difference is that for a person with disorganized attachment, often the harm is much more blunt. We're talking about things like straight up physical abuse. We're talking about things like straight up emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, any of those factors of abuse could be involved again in a person who has avoidant or ambivalent attachment. So what really differs for the person who has a disorganized attachment is the frequency that stuff happens a lot more often than it happens for someone who is avoidant and ambivalent. It happens much more severely than it happens for someone with avoidant and ambivalent attachment. And it happens much more unpredictably for a person than a person who has avoidant or ambivalent attachment. And therein, that's the key word for a person who has a disorganized attachment. It's the unpredictable, unaddressable, if you will, unattackable nature of the chaos that happens in the family. Meaning, with an avoidant or ambivalent attachment, when there's abuse happening or neglect happening or criticism happening or judgment happening, they find a way out. Meaning they find a way that they can be to reduce the frequency, the intensity with which that occurs in their family. With an avoidant attached child, they notice that if they just regulate themselves, they take themselves off into a corner and they get things right, their mom and dad are not as critical. With the ambivalent child, they'll find that if they can just be caretakers of their own parents, keep their parents regulated, then the parents will be well enough to care for them. But for the disorganized child, there is no way out. One day, their mom, their dad, their caretaker wants lots of closeness. The next day, unpredictably, they just hate the child uncontrollably. There is nothing the child can do differently. They can't take themselves off because then the parents come attacking them. You don't want me. They can't try to caretake their parents because then the parent attacks them. You're not good enough. You can't do this for me. You can't be there for me. There's no disappearing or trying to escape because then the parent comes abusively after them and drags them back into their home. There is no predictable way for the child to be. So instead then, what they start doing is they start developing these chaotic fantasies of a child of how they can be and what everything around them means. Now, this discussion of disorganization and fantasies is a really huge one, so I'm going to make a separate video about disorganization and fantasies, and I'll drop that sometime later on this year. If you like this video, please give it a comment, give it a like, at least press that like button. Just press the like button because it increases the likelihood that it pops up everywhere on YouTube. So more people will see my videos. So if you like my videos and you want other people to see the videos, please just press like. I'll see you again for the next one, and I normally say that at the end, so thank you very much. What happened there at the end? I have no idea. Funny.